$1,200 monthly checks for the low-income and fixed-income beneficiaries of Social Security, retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB. This is great as we have some new encouraging information focused on these monthly checks. I have all the details and everything you need to know right here in this video. Let's get right into it. But really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting that button right down below the video, as I am your one and only daily advocate, and I'm very much dedicated to you and this community to be here for you right by your side, doing all the research, boiling it down into these short videos so that you can get the latest details hot off the wire as this information is being released. There's a lot going on right now. Things are changing fast, but don't worry, I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. So again, if you haven't done so, please make sure to subscribe down below, and let's get right into the update. All right, so I do want to talk about some new information that's been coming out in these reports talking about monthly checks for the low income and the fixed income that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So I do want to start out by talking about that, and then of course we can talk about these $1,200 checks specifically focused on the low income and fixed income. All right, so first off, the reports are starting to come out and give us a glimpse into the power behind monthly checks for the low income. Now, we've discussed this previously in other videos as far as monthly checks would really be the holy grail for a lot of people in this community, even though a one-time lump sum payment of a big stimulus check, maybe $1,400, maybe $2,000 would be a really good thing. But realistically, ongoing monthly checks is really where all the support and where the relief would really be coming in. So this is exactly what the reports are finding as well. Let me talk you through the details on this because this is actually really encouraging. Here's what they're finding. To increase and improve the standard of life and quality of life for the low income on a long-term ongoing basis, which is ultimately the result, right? They want to actually improve the standard of living for the low income and fixed income on an ongoing long-term basis, not like a little short-term fix for a week or 2 weeks or a month, nothing like that. They want a long-term solution. So here's what they're finding from all these reports and studies that they're doing on monthly checks with all of these different guaranteed basic income programs around the entire country right now. They're finding that, hey, surprisingly enough, that monthly checks going out to the low income and fixed income are actually raising the standard of living and increasing the quality of life on an ongoing basis for long periods of time. So here's what they're finding from their studies. They're finding that the best way to avoid poverty and to lift people up and actually improve their lifestyles is giving them an ongoing monthly check. Kind of surprising, right? I didn't think any of us saw that coming, right? So I think a lot of us in this community are thinking, well, yeah, obviously, this is like clearly the situation. If you give us ongoing monthly checks of, say, $500, $1,000, or something like this, obviously, then yes, the standard of life would be increased because you just have that much more money to help you with all of your bills, the necessities, the food, clothing, gas in your car, all the different things that you need. Housing, obviously, utilities. I mean, there's so many different things that all of us spend our money on every single month. The necessities, right? So as of right now, there are numerous different guaranteed basic income programs going on all around the country. In fact, we've talked about a lot of these programs here over the last year or so. There's been a bunch of them popping up all over the country, and California is a major hub of many of these guaranteed basic income programs. Now, if you're not aware with what these are, let me just basically explain it for you really fast here. So a guaranteed basic income program is literally a no strings attached payment where, either the state or the local city, the county, or maybe some government, or maybe even a charity, somebody like this, sends out an ongoing monthly payment. Usually it's about $500. That's kind of the general range, is about $500 a month. In some instances, it is up to $1,000 a month, maybe even more in some places. Like New York, there is one for $1,250 a month for the low income. However, the range, or the dollar amount does range, but it's generally about $500 a month is the most common dollar amount. Now, it goes out generally for the minimum of about 12 months. A lot of times it's about 24 or even 36 months, 2 years or even 3 years, these payments go out. Now, These are a no strings attached payment. In other words, if you're qualified for the program, you basically just get the money on an ongoing basis, no questions asked, and you just get the money every single month for a specified period of time. So, as you can see here, this would be pretty powerful, right? Well, let's quickly talk about the $1,200 monthly check program that is out there right now floating around for the low income and the fixed income. Here's what it comes down to. This was actually introduced last summer by Representative Ilhan Omar. Now, she is one of the progressive representatives out of the House of Representatives. She introduced this bill, which does have co-sponsors on it, to send out a $1,200 ongoing check for the low income and the fixed income. Now, here's what's interesting. You might be thinking the low income being, $40,000, maybe $50,000, maybe $20,000 of income or less, right? Well, no, not exactly. With this proposal, she is actually identifying low income as $75,000 as an individual and $150,000 as a married couple. That's a lot of income. I'm not really sure what they're thinking as far as low income, but to me, that seems like a pretty high income, but again, that's just my opinion, right? But anyway, of course, all of this can be adjusted just like we've seen so many other times with stimulus checks and things like this. However, here's what's encouraging about it. This is a nationwide program. Let me explain, because this is something that is a game changer for a lot of people. As I just mentioned a minute ago, there's multiple of these guaranteed basic income programs going on all around the country, right? So a lot of times they're administered on the state level, the county level, the city level, maybe just a small handful of people within a certain area. They're very highly focused groups. So these are the guaranteed basic income programs going on right now. However, the one that is being introduced right here by Representative Ilhan Omar is a nationwide program. Let me explain that to you and let you know why that is such a big deal. All of these other programs are administered on a very small scale. However, when it comes to this nationwide program from Ilhan Omar, this one is a nationwide program that would actually be administered by the federal government. The difference is a small handful of people from the small guaranteed basic income programs that are going on now versus a nationwide program just like the stimulus checks administered by the federal government. Therefore, it is all encompassing all the states, all the counties, all the cities. Basically, it just comes down to whoever has an income that falls within the parameters that they've identified, winner, winner, you are in. Get what I'm saying? So let me explain the differences here because this is very important to understand. Let's just say that there's a guaranteed basic income program going on in Los Angeles, California, which there actually is right now. In fact, there's a couple of them going on in Los Angeles, California right now. Somebody living in, say, Kentucky, Florida, Tennessee, Colorado, where else? Wisconsin, New York, Maine, New Jersey, Texas, all of these states, they cannot participate in a guaranteed basic income program going on in Los Angeles, California. You just can't do it. You've got to live in Los Angeles, California. However, here's the difference with a nationwide program. You could be living in California, Washington, Iowa, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, Maine, New York, Indiana, Ohio. It literally does not matter. With a nationwide program that is administered by the federal government, it is all-encompassing all the states, all the districts, all the territories. Get what I'm saying? So you could have the federal government administer this program, and it is all-encompassing for all the areas versus one of these programs that's administered on the state level, the city level, the county level, something like this, and is only within the parameters of that one specific area. Get what I'm saying? That's why this is so incredibly important. So, this is a pretty cool proposal. This is a pretty cool thing that was introduced by Representative Ilhan Omar, and there are multiple co-sponsors on this, by the way. So, pretty encouraging stuff right now, and all the reports out there right now are pointing toward guaranteed basic income programs, in other words, monthly checks on an ongoing basis for the low income as the best way to lift people out of poverty, keep people out of poverty, either going into poverty or falling back into poverty, and the best way to increase the standard of living as well as increase or improve the quality of life. I don't know. Sounds like a winning strategy to me, but what do I know, right? Just some guy here on the internet. But my point is, I'm doing all the research on this. It's very encouraging to see what we're finding from all these programs out there right now, what the reports are saying, and the recipe and the solution is very clear. ongoing monthly checks for the low income and the fixed income is the best way to solve this ongoing problem. Anyway, these are the details that I have for you as of right now. As I do get more information, of course, I'll be right back here for you, laying it all down, breaking it all out for you so that it's easy to understand and so that we're all on the same page, understanding what is actually going on during this really weird time that we're currently living through. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below, as I am your one and only daily advocate, and I'm very much dedicated to you and this community. So please make sure to subscribe, share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other nearly 2,400 videos right here on the channel. Enjoy your day. Thanks again. I hope this one helps you out, and I will catch you again later in the next video.